Hey guys, so yesterday I posted a video about the Xbox One and said that I was just finishing up watching E3, which I just did. I just finished the Nintendo conference now. So I'm just going to go over everything, all of my thoughts. I watched all the press conferences. I'll throw links to all the trailers that I discussed that I think that are good. I'll put all the links down below so you can go ahead and watch them one at a time if you would like. So let's jump in right at the first one, which was EA. So EA was the first one on. They went ahead and did their show. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I don't think they messed up or anything. They focused a lot on sports, and they talked a lot, which, I mean, what else does EA really have going for them? So, I know I'm looking down over here. It's because I've got a list of all the games and all of what I want to talk about. So a lot of it was sports, and they talked about Madden for a while, which is expected. They always do. But they were talking about Madden Long Shot, which is like a story mode for it. And I feel like they were just kind of ripping off their own game. They did it with FIFA. I don't know if you guys ever play FIFA. Me and my little brother play a lot of FIFA. We're really into it. So we went ahead and did the story mode of FIFA last time, and you just play as a character. You go through and live his life, and they're kind of doing that with all of their sports games now. So they're doing a story mode for all of them since it was successful with FIFA. They're just continuing it from there. They showed off a trailer for Battlefield 1's first DLC, which is whatever. I mean, I don't really get hyped about DLC trailers. I mean, it's a DLC. I just go ahead and get it if you're going to get it. Don't get it if you're going to get it. It's more maps. It's like a 2-minute thing. I feel like they shouldn't be at E3, but that's up to them. They showed off new Need for Speed game, which looks meh, but one game that I do want to talk about is A Way Out. So that's a new co-op game where you have to escape prison and you're two people who are trying to break out of prison. The trailer, once again, like I said, the trailer for that's going to be in the bottom. But it's interesting to me because co-op games are always weird. You need somebody to be with you to play them, which for some people that's more challenging than others. Like, for me, I have a lot of people who I play with, so it's not that big of a deal. Coordinate and get the game together, so that's fine. But other times, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Like I did have a game. I remember back. This was a while back. I got Epic Mickey. That was a 2-player game. Epic Mickey 2 was 2 players, and I always had like such a hard time getting another person to be there to play it. Or like Portal 2, the 2-player mode. Always had a hard time getting somebody else there to play it with me. So it's just kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. But I have high hopes for this one. I'm probably going to get it because a buddy of mine's going to get it and we'll play it together. So that should be good. And then they showed like 2 seconds of the anthem, but I'll talk more about that later on because that was primarily shown at a different conference. And then the main thing that happened here, like the main talk of the EA conference was obviously Star Wars Battlefront. It looks amazing. Like just fantastic game. Looks like they fixed everything that was wrong with the first one, which was a lot because it didn't have much replay value in my opinion. I thought it was bad. They showed off all the new characters. Highly recommend you go ahead and watch that. Trailer's in the bottom. At 30 minutes of gameplay. The game looks fantastic and I will be getting that. Next conference up was Microsoft. I thought they killed it. I thought they won E3. So they did the best out of anybody. Everybody else was kind of lacking. They killed it all across the board. There was barely any talking. It was trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer. Bunch of new games coming out, and all of it in 4K. They focus a lot on 4K, everything with the 4K talk, because obviously the new Xbox One X is coming out, and people are going to be getting that all for that 4K content. I talked more about that in a video yesterday. There'll be a link to that video down below and at the end card because it's the previous video. You can check that out there, so I'm not going to focus too much on that. They showed off a new Forza game, which I'm not really into Forza. But the main thing that I was really surprised by was that they showed Assassin's Creed Origin and some gameplay for Assassin's Creed Origin, which I thought Ubisoft would hold off with their own conference. But they did talk more about it there at their own conference. So that looks pretty good. I'm a bit nervous about it because it's more RPG-like, and I really like the classic Assassin's Creed. I'm a big fan of the series. So, I mean, I'm excited to get another one, obviously, because it's been 2 years and I missed it last year, but I'm nervous. They mentioned PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. That's a big deal. That game looks amazing. That 100-person battlefield and everything. Go ahead out there and kill. It's a lot like the Hunger Games, so I'm definitely getting that one as well. Origins and Battleground I will be getting. And like I said in my Xbox One from yesterday, I'm probably getting one of the Xbox One X's. Then they showed a bunch of more indie games. State of Decay 2 looks pretty decent, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one, so probably not doing that. They showed off Minecraft 4K. which is just comical to me. Like, that's just ridiculous to me that they're doing 4K Minecraft, but it's pretty funny. So, and I already have Minecraft, so it's just a quick, upgrade to that. But Sea of Thieves looks fantastic. I've been waiting and waiting. They keep showing off Sea of Thieves. I wanted to get it with my friends. We were really into Ark, and it kind of reminds me of Ark, where you have to like team up and work together to complete a bigger objective. So I'm very excited for Sea of Thieves. 100% recommend you watch the trailer for that. I will be getting that game, and I will be playing that game. Maybe if we have enough viewers, I'm going to start putting gameplay on here. Not really sure. Maybe I'll do a gaming channel separate, but I really like, I play video games, so I want to show off gameplay and such. That's why I'm even talking about E3 right now. But there was so many trailers, like just a ton of trailers. You can go ahead and look at them. Crackdown I wasn't really sure about. It looks fun, but also it just kind of looked out of place compared to everything else. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Crackdown. Middle Earth Shadow of War looks bad in my opinion. I know I feel bad saying that, but it just didn't look good at all. Then the big one, Anthem. Everybody's talking about Anthem. That was mentioned at the EA conference as well. Looks great. Looks like a new thing. It's gonna be a monster fighting game with a bunch of tech armor. I'm not really sure if it's gonna be good or not. Like I said, it's a new IP, so new IPs are always a toss-up. It's always one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is gonna be good enough for me to get. I'm probably not gonna pre-order, but there's a good chance that I end up getting it if it gets good reviews after it comes out. Then the next conference that happened was Bethesda's press conference. I thought their press conference was garbage. They messed up a lot. It skipped. I don't know if that was just my stream, but it kept like skipping forward and skipping backwards, and they didn't really show off anything that new in my opinion. Wolfenstein 2, it looks okay. I mean, it looked good, but Wolfenstein 1, I wasn't the biggest fan of, so I'm probably not gonna get that one. They showed off Doom VR, Elder Scrolls VR, and then they also showed off Fallout VR. So they seem to be really focusing on the VR games sections of what they're doing, and that seemed to be the main focus. But like I said, their thing was hard to keep up with because of the fact that it kept messing up. I really don't know if that was just my stream or if it was just them in general, but it kept skipping forward and skipping back. Let me know in the comments if you guys had that problem. It was weird, and I feel like they had a lot of mistakes, and they didn't really show off anything that great. Then we had Ubisoft's conference, which I thought they did okay. The bulk of it was 30 minutes of gameplay of Assassin's Creed afterwards, and like I said, that's why it looks iffy. The gameplay made me kind of weary about the new game. It made me feel a little bit like, I don't know. Mario the Rabbids Kingdom looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm probably not gonna get it, but it looks like a good game as well. The Crew 2, I'm still upset about the first Crew because of the fact that they said the map was going to be so big, and then I felt like it wasn't that big, and the whole US was kind of warped and weird looking. But in the Crew 2, they're going to have airplanes and boats, and I just don't know. I feel like they should have worked on making a bigger map and done a similar driving game. But that being said, I mean, I hope it's good. I'm not going to be getting that game. South Park The Fractured Butthole looks fantastic. It looks hilarious. It looks great. They also showed off a mobile game as well. So that's really cool. I'm probably gonna get the mobile game as well. I'm gonna get both of those. That looks good. Skull and Bones it just looks like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but without getting off the boat. It seems like a worse version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag with better graphics. So I'm definitely not getting that at all. I mean, that doesn't look good at all in my opinion. Just Dance, obviously they showed off the next Just Dance game. They're never going to give up on those. They're just going to keep going forever and ever. Far Cry 5, they showed a little bit more of that. Showed some gameplay. I'm really excited for Far Cry 5. I love the Far Cry series, even though I did not get Far Cry Primal. So maybe that makes me less of a fan of Far Cry. I don't know. But I like the main games. I like 4, and it was good, so I'm going to probably be getting 5 at least. So they did pretty good in my opinion. They just showed off some games. They didn't really show off a ton of games. Weren't as good as Microsoft, obviously, but I thought they did good. Then Sony went ahead and did their press conference. I thought Sony kind of failed. I didn't really like anything that they did. And I'm kind of an Xbox fanboy, I guess, but I do own a PlayStation, and I have games on the PlayStation. I play the PlayStation. I just prefer the Xbox over it. And this year, I thought they didn't really show off much. They showed like some DLC. They showed off a lot of stuff that's not coming out necessarily in 2017. A lot of it's like early 2018. So I thought that was kind of lame. But they showed off the Call of Duty trailer, which is, a lot of people are excited for that. I really don't care about it. I only really get the ones that are made by Treyarch, so I'm not going to be getting that game either. The new God of War looks really good. They showed off that. That game looks cool. Detroit looks interesting. It's about like these cybernetic people. But the main thing, pretty much the only thing that I like, and the only thing that I'm going to be getting that they showed off at this conference was the new Spider-Man game, because it looks beautiful, it looks amazing. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, I love it, but I'm not as big of a fan of Peter Parker as I am Miles Morales, and right at the end of the press conference, they dropped a little bomb on all of us with Miles Morales in the game. He was taking a photo of Spider-Man, so hopefully he'll be a playable character, or at least have a big role in the game. I'm really excited to see more on that. I hope they talk more about it, but they haven't said anything yet. That was just like an end trailer thing. And finally, Nintendo. They said that they're going to have Rocket League on the Switch, which is one thing that's cool. They showed off a new Kirby game, which looks really good. I'm excited for the new Kirby game. I love the Kirby games, but I don't own a Switch, and nothing that they really showed is going to convince me to get one as of now. So I'm probably not going to be playing any of these games. They mentioned that they're going to have a Pokemon game on the Switch, but they didn't say when or what or the name of it or give any information. They just basically said, hey, we're going to do it eventually. So cool, I guess. I mean, I feel like they should have said a little bit more than that. I was a bit upset with them for just being like, hey, we're probably going to do this. I mean, everybody kind of knew that we were going to do this eventually, but we're going to do it. So I thought that was stupid. And then for everything else, I mean, the new Mario game is really the only thing that interests me from the whole thing. Mario Odyssey looks fantastic. I like that you can take over the other characters and drive around. They had a bunch of gameplay afterwards in the Treehouse booth that they were showing off, and it looks like a good game, but still not enough to get me to buy a Switch, so there's not much really more to say on that. But guys, that's going to be about it here. I tried to keep that as short as I could so that it could all fit in. I mean, there was a lot of conferences. I probably should have done this in more than one video so that I could have gone more in depth about stuff. But if you want to see me talk more about some of these things, go ahead and mention it down below. I'll make a video about the things that you tell me to talk about, because I really like covering the games, and E3 was a big event. There was a lot going on in these conferences, and I have individual thoughts about each, and I really thought about doing a video for each conference, but then I decided, you know what, do it quick. That's like 6 videos focusing only on E3. It's like a week and a half. So I decided just to do this. If you want to see me talk specifically about a conference or specifically about a game, fill me in down below. I'll let you guys know about it. But like this video, subscribe for more stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Click the video on the top for the next video. Click the video on the bottom for the previous video. Click the video in the middle for the video that YouTube thinks is best for you, and click the circular channel icon to subscribe.